Yet once again the nation's so-called leaders shamed themselves in Parliament on Wednesday, shouting, screaming, barracking and point-scoring with all the intellectual panache of 1970s football terrace yobs. Twice in the first 4 minutes, Speaker John Bercow was forced to bellow above the madhouse cacophony which Prime Minister's question time had descended into. They were the first of repeated calls for calm. He demanded the Prime Minister needed to be heard above the schoolyard furore. At times she simply could not be. In truth, there wasn't much to hear which had not been heard before. Theresa May got very cross with MPs today in the House during PMQs. Image AFP Getty. Mrs May, as usual, was adamant her version of Brexit was the only feasible solution. The Scottish Nationalists darkly threatened a new Jacobite rebellion, and Jeremy Corbyn attempted to curry electoral favour, putting forward Brexit views which were in direct contradiction to Labour Party policy. As Mrs May said, the SNP has always wanted to revoke Article 50. At least that is a firm position, unlike the leader of the opposition. Above the din, Mrs May was roundly savaged, and there was nowhere to hide. Little wonder this was a very cross Mrs May, perhaps the crossest we have seen her so far. Speaker John Bercow struggled to keep order during PMQs. Image EPA Parliamentary Recording Unit. The SNP's Westminster leader Ian Blackford said Mrs May's Brexit deal had utterly failed and added, the Prime Minister is now acting in her own self-interest, but the Prime Minister has failed and Parliament has failed. The only solution is to give the decision back to the people, before adding darkly, if Westminster fails, Scotland will act. Tory Brexiteer MP Peter Bone accused Mrs May of nothing short of deception and treachery. He said, the Prime Minister in this House has said 108 times that we will be leaving the European Union on the 29th of March. Last week, two-thirds of her MPs voted against any extension to Article 50. Theresa May's letter to Donald Tusk asking for an extension. Image EPA Prime Minister's Press Office. Prime Minister, if you continue to apply for an extension to Article 50, you'll be betraying the British people. If you don't, you'll be honouring their instruction. Prime Minister, it isn't entirely down to you. History will judge you at this moment. Yet again Mr Bone could barely be heard above the football terrace din, and once again the Speaker had to step in and call for calm. Calm, it seems in these troubled Brexit times, is a commodity in increasingly short supply.